Live. We're going live. We're going live. And we're on the air. We're on the air. How you guys doing here? It's Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Welcome to the show. Saturday, August the 18th, 2018. 8th month, 18th day, 18th year. How are you, everybody? How you doing? Still in my daughter's condo. I kind of may have mentioned I was going to be at the house with the cats today, but that's later on. I'll be with the cats in about 2.5 hours. So the show today is on here, and to Monday's show we'll have probably have some pussycats making an appearance or two as they kind of slink on by, wondering what the heck I'm up to. So there you go. Hope the signal's coming through okay. I'm seeing a pretty good clear picture, I think, and hopefully we're doing okay. How are you guys? Welcome back. Nice to have you all here today. Got some cruise information for you today, and then I'm ready for trivia. I hope you are. We'll have some fun today doing that. Again, thank you for all of you who are supporting this channel in your own unique way. I appreciate it so very much. We've got a couple orders come through this last couple of days on the Amazon affiliate link. Some of you are buying some product on Amazon using the affiliate link down below here. Thank you for that. Also, a few orders have come in lately for Redbubble for the logos for my channel. Some of you are picking up some t-shirts and other items. Fantastic. I love it. And then some of you are making direct contributions to our PayPal account, the donation account, the button here on my homepage. Thank you again today, Robert Brandt. Thank you, sir, for getting another contribution to my channel. Very much appreciated. That's absolutely wonderful. A number of you this past week have sent me one, and thank you all. Helps pay the costs of being on the road. It's all good. Here in Calgary right now, we are going to be a bit cooler today. I might make some of you jealous out there. Our high today is 71. That's all we're going to hit. Right now we're 65, 66 degrees outside here in Calgary. Still, unfortunately, quite smoky and overcast. The smoke is just all over the place. Apparently, we saw I noticed a photo yesterday on one of the news services here. It was a satellite image taken by NASA of North America, and they zoomed in on the western part of Canada and the northwest USA, and this massive cloud of smoke covers oh gosh, half of Western Canada and a good chunk of the Northwest USA. We are just choking in this terrible forest fire smoke scenario. Apparently, though, in the next 48 hours, we are to get possibly some shower activity. How much and where exactly remains to be seen, but we're all crossing our fingers that the humidity will rise, hopefully, number one. And number two, the winds will get stronger and to dissipate the smoke over yet a greater area, I guess. But if the humidity can rise and we get some shower activity, that'll clean a lot of this smoke out of the air and just make it drop to the ground as a bit of an ash. Anyway, we're hoping for the best there to clear things up. I'm praying that by next Wednesday, I have relatives flying in from Germany who haven't been here. One of them has never been here before. One of them hasn't been here for 20-something years. I'm kind of hoping that when they get here, they can see the mountains from here, because the Rocky Mountains are just 45 miles west of town. You can't see them unless you get within 2 miles of them. You can't see them at all. We're totally in a complete, it's like a fog. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, what can you do? Anyway, there you have it. So thank you all for coming by and joining me here today. I hope you're having a good day and a good weekend. And we'll get into some news here. The news that I've got today is just the cruise ships that are being built out by the cruise lines. I noticed today there was a schedule released showing which cruise lines are building what kind of ship and when are they due for release to the public. And I've got here Carnival and Celebrity and Cunard, Disney, Holland America, MSC, Norwegian, Princess, Royal Caribbean, even Virgin Voyages as well, Viking Cruise Lines. It's just stunning to see how many ships have been ordered and when they're coming and how big they are, how heavy they are, how many passengers they can handle. It's incredible. The business is on a full-blown growth curve. And it's quite something to see, how many are coming on, and it'll be entertaining for a guy like me. It's going to be real entertaining watch and see the business. How well will the cruise lines do? Can they book out these cruise ships? Some older ships may be retired or sold off to secondary cruise lines, but nonetheless, these ships are larger than the ships they're replacing, and there's only so many places in the planet you can take a cruise ship. There are ports and there are facilities. You need airports for people to get to cruise ships, especially if they're ways away from the typical places. I mean, Miami cannot handle 20 cruise ships a day on a turnaround. Neither can Fort Lauderdale. There's a certain limitation only at certain ports, and you're going to need to have cruise ships start frequenting new ports that they've never frequented before. Is the only way to expand the business. I mean, really, there's a certain point where those of us who've been on a number of cruises, if you've been to the Cayman Islands 5 times, do you want to go a 6th time? If you've been to San Juan, Puerto Rico the last 3 years in a row on a Caribbean cruise, do you want to go again, or would you like to go somewhere new? And certain Caribbean islands and nations are definitely building out new port facilities. They want in on this action. They have seen the light. They notice, my God, if we can get a 5,000 passenger cruise ship to stop at our port facility every day of the week, let's say 6 days a week, that's 30,000 people a week that could come to our island or country or wherever, that could come ashore and perhaps have a drink or two on the beach, go downtown and enjoy a latte or pick up a few souvenir items, just stretch their legs, get a tour. We have museums, we have the zoos, we have, we'll have theme parks available. So children come with mom and dad. You take them for the day for a 4 or 5 hour stay at a theme park and have them drop a bunch of dough here. 30,000 a week. Let's see how many of these folks we can have come by. Perhaps we can build the port large enough to handle 2 of these 5,000 passenger ships a day. Now we're talking 60,000 people a week for, say, 25 weeks during the winter months. That adds up to some serious cash, lots of employment, clean business. You don't need smokestacks. You don't need to build factories. You're not going to deal with hazardous chemicals. You're looking after tourists. And at the end of the day, they're gone. Come sundown, they're out of town. And they're on their cruise ship moving on to the next port of call, and our cash registers are full of cash. Not a bad idea. So this business is growing on many, many fronts, and it'll be interesting to see how this all sort of plays out. I'm just going to say hi to see who's here. Say hi to everybody. I see 16 viewers at this moment are popping in saying hi to me. Earlier in the chat, people were talking to each other, greeting each other and saying hello. Wendy Thompson is here. Tom Henry is here. Robert Brandt is here. Special shout out to you, Robert. Thank you again for contribution to my channel. Thanks so much. Wendy Thompson, of course, is here. Who else is here today? It's 81 where Wendy is, by the way, near Ocala, Florida. Robert wants to know, hey, where would everyone want to go on a cruise to and from? Where do you want to go? Let's see here. Tom Henry looks like the original bit is, they're talking about some kind of video that's not working. Let's see. Tom Henry saying, how about St. Martin? How about St. Thomas? St. Martin plus a couple of nearby spots. St. Kitts, that's always a good place. Tom, Robert Brandt, I have 1 million pics and videos that need, and I need my twins to help me edit so I can post things. Plus, I am forbidden to post anything without their approval. So he's got posting to do when he gets back. Let's see here. Wendy Thompson, she said, we'd like to go in May or June after the granddaughter's graduation out of Florida, 2019, anywhere. Let's see here. Sailing out of San Juan is fun too. Robert Brandt, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, tons of Bahamas, Caribbean cruises. Let's see here. Can we move forward to more comments here just to kind of say hi to everybody here? Robert saying, we had an old galleon lounging pirate ship in St. Thomas that used to do a day trip around the island and was locally known as the Booze Cruise. No one got off sober. Yeah, they do that in Puerto Vallarta. They do that in Grand Cayman towards the end of the day around sunset. The Cayman Islands has a galleon type vessel, same thing. It's a big Booze Cruise. For some, it works. For me, I wouldn't want to do it. Robert saying she sank in September of 18. The hurricane got her. It's too bad. They'll have to get another one up and running. Let's see here. Any more comments? Tracy Dunlop is here. Hi, Bruce, and all 91 in Naples, Florida. Hot and humid. Feels like 100 today. Overcast, no rain so far. Yeah, we're at 70 here. It's just going to be fantastic. Let's see here. Robert Brandt. Hey, traveling with Bruce. He saw my message. Wendy Thompson. I had a birthday in St. Thomas. I went looking for free drinks. Tom Henry saying it's 88 in Richmond. Welcome, buddy. Let's see here. I gave a shout out to Robert for his contribution. Robert Brandt saying, Wendy, there are always free drinks. Just need to know where to look. That's all you got to do. Let's see here. Robert's telling me you're always welcome, Bruce. Thank you so much. Paul Wolgas, hi, everybody. Paul is here. Robert, he says, sounds like the Twins just want to make sure that they look good in every pic you post. That's right. It's got to be done just right or not at all. That's pretty much it, Robert. Robert is saying to Paul. Tom Henry, we need their good side only. Jim Thomas is here. Hello, all 104 degrees here in Anderson, California today. Oh, man, Jim boy, it's unbelievable up there. Hang in there, my friend, and try to survive these crazy conditions we're seeing here these days. Let's see. Everyone is saying hi to everybody else here. Paul Wilgus, cooler here, 69 in rain. Tom Henry, is it headed our way? We don't know. Jim Thomas, you should be on the front line for these fires if you want to choke on smoke. It's just so bad, I guess. I mean, it's bad in Calgary, but worse right near the fire. Oh, God, it's going to be bad. Tracy is saying, hi, Robert Brandt. Might not see you on here for a few days with that time change in Thailand. He's heading to Thailand after this cruise is over. Robert is firing it all up. He says, if that guy built a wall up there, maybe the smoke wouldn't get into your country. How about that? Keep it in the USA. Hey, you guys are welcome to it. You want to keep it in your lower 49, that's all fine by me. Don't spread it up here, but not going to happen. It is spreading everywhere. Paul Wilgus is saying, Tom Henry, you guys need to break in the temperatures. Tracy, hi, Wendy Thompson. Rum punch sounds pretty good right now. Robert Brandt, yes, Thailand is 11 hours ahead of Eastern time, so we probably won't see you guys live. D&G Explorers, morning all. Can't stay long. Going to see a movie about a darn giant shark. Welcome, you guys. Glad you're here, Robert Brandt and Meg. Tracy Dunlap, yeah, really, Robert Brandt, if the wall needs to be for neighbors to the south, then should do it for the northern neighbors too. That's right. Keep those Canadians out with all their money. You don't want those Canadians coming down there spending their money down there. E&G, yes, Robert Brandt, as if Great White Shark isn't enough. MG2, I don't even want to get off the boat in the Caribbean. Robert Brandt, that guy just hates certain people. Think deep tan. The shark, I think. Robert Brandt, MG, I protect you in St. Thomas. No problem there. Wendy Thompson, we have bear spray, MG. Maurice is here. Hello, Bruce. I'm boarding Norwegian Escape from New York tomorrow. I will see you when I get back. Fantastic, Maurice. Have a great cruise and let us know how it's going for you. Tell us all about the ship and how they're treating you on there. That'll be fantastic. MG Tow, St. Thomas is U.S. territory. I would feel a bit safer there, but with caution, he's saying. Pamplemousse, more ships equals more cabins on the market equals bigger savings for us. And that could well be, Pamplemousse, the competition is what keeps everything in check, doesn't it? And I'll go over this list here shortly. You'll see how many new ships are coming on and how many passengers can be accommodated. It is stunning. Maurice, Paul, Robert Brandt is saying, enjoy, Maurice. Have a great cruise. Paul Wilgus, have fun, Maurice. Enjoy that cruise. Tom Henry, thanks, Paul. My lawn is a mess. I can't mow in this heat, I guess. D&G Explorers, awesome, Maurice. We are sailing on Escape next year. Fantastic. Londell Williams is here. Hi, Bruce. It's 90 out right now. Feels like 99 in Somerville, South Carolina. 49 days until my cruise on the Horizon. Fantastic. The Horizon is up and running. All is well. The engine is repaired. You should have no issues. This is going to be great. Robert Brandt, MG Tow, St. Thomas is about as safe as anything gets. But yes, it is the USA, so, things happen. Maurice, D&G Explorers, it'll be my second time on Norwegian Escape. How about that? Tracy Dunlop at Jim Thomas, terrible, all the fires of smoke. Stay safe. Absolutely. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, you guys have been getting the heat we normally get, but we have been, but we have been having almost fall-like temperatures. Very interesting. Tom Henry, wave at the camera, Maurice, in case Facebook Latitudes films The Escape again. It was a live broadcast last Sunday. How about that? Tom Henry, I did leave 4 hours late due to fueling delay. Make sure the fuel is on time. Robert Brand, if you have a birthday in St. Thomas, the Tavern on the Waterfront in Charlotte, Amelie, or Fatty's in Red Hook will give you freebies with proof that it's your birthday. You prove to them it's your birthday, they're taking care of you. How about that? Jim Thomas, fire hit 225,000 acres. That's just incredible, just insane. Tracy, oh, we know that very well, don't we, Robert, about the free drinks, I guess. Robert saying, I'll be good. Thank you, Robert. All right, let me tell you the cruise lines that are bringing new cruise ships out. After I get through this news, I got some trivia for you. We'll put you to the test and see how you guys are going to do. But just to give you an idea of what's coming, and it's not that far down the line here. Excuse me. These are cruise ships on order from the major cruise lines. Our friends at Carnival, they are bringing out in 2019 the brand new Panorama cruise ship. That'll hold 4,200 passengers, a little larger than the Vista class right now. The Horizon is around 3,950 passengers. This one is 4,200, just a little larger. 133,000 tons, and I know that the Panorama will be based in Long Beach, California for year-round Mexican Riviera cruises. So big upgrade for Long Beach. It's going to be the biggest ship in the West Coast on a permanent basis. Carnival. Now, Carnival, right behind this one, this is where it's going to get really interesting. Excuse me, in 2020 and 2022, Carnival will take delivery of 2 ships, and right now they haven't been named or anything like that, but they're both LNG, liquid natural gas powered cruise ships, and each of these cruise ships can hold 6,600 passengers. That is the size of the Oasis class for the number of passengers they'll be able to take on. 180,000 gross tons, about 40,000 tons lighter than the giant Oasis class ships that Royal Caribbean is running right now. But for Carnival, this is a major move. I mean, having 4,200 passengers on the Panorama is already one major move up for size of ships in the Carnival fleet. But these 2 ships in 2020 and 2022 at 6,600 passengers each, that's a whole other departure. That's like almost 50% larger than the biggest ships they run now. These ships are going to be talked about like crazy. We're going to see a massive PR campaign by Carnival for these 2 cruise ships as they get closer to launch. So I'm quite looking forward to reading about that, seeing about that, and I'll let you know everything I can as I see more. Celebrity right now has a new ship coming out later this year called the Edge. The Celebrity Edge will be out probably in November this year. That's only in about 3 months, 4 months, and it will hold 2,918 passengers, around 3,000 passengers, 130,000 tons. Then next year in 2019, a departure for Celebrity, they're bringing out an expedition ship that will be designed to be able to go into very small ports, probably will be able to head to Antarctica and the Arctic. 100 passengers is the size of the ship. That's it. From a ship, it's going to be called the Flora from Celebrity. That'll be out in 2019. And then in 2020, Celebrity will launch their second Edge style ship called the Apex. Same size, 130,000 tons with 2,918 passengers. And then behind that, in 2021 and 2022, 2 more Edge style ships. So they will have 4 of these ships that look like the Celebrity Edge, 4 of them by the time 2022 rolls around. Pretty interesting stuff at Celebrity. Cunard has 1 ship on order right now for 2022, 3,000 passenger ship, 113,000 tons. That will resemble, I believe, the Queen Victoria ship in that class of size ships. No, I take that back. It's probably more like the Queen Mary 2, 3,000 passenger ship, a good size ship for Cunard. Disney has 3 ships coming out, 2021, 22, and 23. Each ship, 2,500 passengers. Each one is 135,000 tons. With children, this will be over 3,000 passengers in total. and they'll probably sail at 104 to 106% capacity. Not uncommon for Disney cruise ships. Mom and dad plus 2 kids in rooms, not uncommon. So 3 new cruise ships, 2,500 plus passengers each. They'll be larger than what they have now, or as big as their biggest ships now. Disney is expanding rapidly. I'm surprised, to be honest, that Disney hasn't announced even more. They're booming. Their business is doing very well. Holland America, 2018 and 2021. They have 2 ships coming. Each will hold 2,650 passengers, 100,000 tons each. I'm trying to remember the name of the ship that's coming this year. Is it the Noi? I forgot. Sorry, but anyway, there's a ship coming later this year, and in 3 years, another one. MSC, this is the company that's really building out ships along with Viking. MSC is spending $10 billion US right now on an 11-ship build-out program. They have, in 2019, 2 new cruise ships coming out. The Bellissima cruise ship, 4,500 passengers. And in 2019, the Grandiosa with 6,300 passengers. In 2020, they'll bring out another 6,300 passenger ship. The Virtuosa is coming out. And then in 2021, they're bringing out a ship known as the Seaside Evo class. Something tells me that this Seaside Evo class of ship will be an LNG powered vessel. We're looking at 4,500 passengers for 2021, and in 2023, another one coming behind that. And then in 2022, they're bringing another ship out known as, they're calling it right now, World Class Ship. That's all they're calling it. I think these are LNG powered. 5,400 passengers for each one of these. They're bringing one out in 2022, 200,000 tons each, by the way, 2024, 2025, and 2026. So look at this. We're talking about 11 ships, 5,000 per ship. That's 55,000 spots per week to be filled by MSC. Just to put this into your heads. 55,000 passengers a week more will be looked after by 2026. That's 8 years. How are they going to fill these ships? From where? I'll tell you from where. North America. They're coming in. They will pass Norwegian and be the 3rd largest cruise line in the world with this build out. The Norwegian is not able to keep up with this. It's really stunning. Norwegian, speaking of, 2019, the Encore comes out at 4,200 passengers, 168,000 tons. And in 2022, the Leonardo class, 3,300 passengers per ship, 140,000 gross tons, will be launched. The first one in 2022, then in 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Even with that schedule of ships coming out for Norwegian, they will still be passed by MSC and will be the 4th largest cruise line. MSC will be the 3rd largest cruise line by 2026 or so. Just incredible how that's coming. And just looking at Norwegian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ships, 3,300 passengers each. That's 20,000 passengers a week. And the Encore is 4,200, 24,000 passengers a week more from Norwegian, but 55,000 passengers a week more from MSC. That's telling you how fast these guys are going. It is phenomenal. Princess Cruise Line, 2019, the Sky Princess is coming. It's a royal class of ship, 3,560 passengers. They'll be bringing out one in 2019, the Sky, then in 2020 and 2022. And in 2023, Princess brings out 2 LNG-powered cruise ships at 4,300 passengers each. One for 2023, one for 2025. So Carnival, which owns Princess, is growing out quickly. Carnival owns Holland America. They've got 2 ships coming. They own Cunard. They got a ship coming. And they own, of course, their own cruise line, Carnival Cruise Lines. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3 right there as well. Carnival is growing quickly to stay number 1. Royal Caribbean bringing 6 new ships in 7 years onto the high seas. 2019, Spectrum of the Seas, 4,200 passengers. I believe that's a Quantum class ship, 168,000 tons. They'll bring another one out in 2020, same design. And then in 2021, they'll be bringing out their 5th version of their Oasis class ship. The last one, Symphony of the Seas, was just launched. In 2021, the fifth one will come out. 6,780 passengers is the expected capacity. That might be tweaked a little higher. You never know. 230,000 gross tons. And in 2022, they start bringing out a new class of ships called the Icon class. These are 5,000 passengers each one. They're bringing one out in 2022 and another one in 2024. Each of these ships are 200,000 tons. Those will be the second heaviest ships at sea behind the Oasis class starting in 2022. Big plans for Royal Caribbean. Viking Ocean Cruises. Folks, Robert Brandt right now is on a Viking river cruise and is telling us how great this is. The service, the food, spectacular. Viking Ocean Cruises, they've got fans. I would love to be on this line. They have a ship coming out in 2019 called the Jupiter. 930 passengers, 47,000 ton ships, like all the others. And then they have eight more on order, 2021, 22, another one in 2022, 2023, 24, 25, 2026, and 2027. They will eventually have, looks like 15 to 16 of these ocean vessels at sea, no one under 18 allowed, 930 passengers each every week, turning over first class 6-star luxury cruising. Absolutely stunning, the growth pattern of this company. They also have 2 exploration ships on order. I believe these ships will hold around the 200 passenger mark, something like that. They've got one coming in 2021 and one in 2022. So big plans for Viking. They found their territory and they're going right at it. They are targeting this guy. And the folks that are 50 years old right now, they're targeting them too. The last of the baby boomers and the elderly millennials will be targeted shortly, because in the next 10 years, the eldest millennial will be 48 to 50 years old, and they're going after them next with these phenomenal 6-star ships, 945 passengers per ship. Absolutely stunning. Virgin. To finish this story off, Virgin Voyages has 3 cruise ships on order. The first one, called the Scarlet Lady, is being built right now. She'll be at sea in 2020, a year and a half from now. 2,800 passengers, 110,000 tons. The second one will come out in 2021, the third one in 2022. And Richard Branson has got plans, big plans, to market like you cannot believe. Marketing will be phenomenal for these ships. And no children, and they're targeting millennials right off the get-go. They're making no bones about it, no apologies. They're going right after the millennials right now, because they figure the 25 to 45, 50-year-olds is where they think they're going to make their money, and that's the millennial crowd by the time these ships are up and running. And don't be surprised if they build out more after that. Should be an interesting run. But anyway, there you go. The major cruise lines with what's coming. There are all kinds of other ships out there being built by exploration companies. Ponant is building like crazy. Hertington from it's Norway or Sweden, they're building like crazy. Of course, Ada Cruising, P&O, Costa Cruises. There are ships coming from everywhere. These are just the big brand names that we're familiar with. And this schedule here is phenomenal. We're probably talking about just off the top of my head, I'm going to guess that we're looking at almost 200,000 capacity for passengers within the next 7 or 8 years per week. So you multiply that by 50, we're talking 10 million more capacity for passenger cruising. So we're going to go to 40 million capacity or 45 million capacity cruise ships per year. Right now, we were just passing 27, 28 million a year now. This is past beyond 40 million. This is showing you what's going on. And now you can understand why Panama is building a new port facility. The folks in Lisbon are building a new terminal. The folks in Dominican Republic, the 5th passenger cruise terminals. The cruise lines are building new private island resorts in the Caribbean. I think Carnival has one going. Disney's got one going. Royal Caribbean is expanding Coco Key by $200 million. This is why these ships are coming. They need the capacity to handle the passengers, and they would prefer, if they can, to take them to new ports, brand new places, And if the cruise lines can keep you in their little world by bringing you to Amber Cove, bringing you to Labadee in Haiti, their own private islands, then you'll spend all your money on the cruise ship with just the cruise line for the whole time you're on board the ship. There you go. That's why they're doing what they're doing, and that's what we love to talk about on this channel. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would dearly love you to join in. There's a subscribe button that's always going here, little red one over here, or there's a subscribe button over here with a little bell icon beside it. Click both of those and become a subscriber of this channel and be notified every time I upload a new video and go live. Love to have you on board. Speaking of subscribers, 2,553 subscribers. We went through 2,550 last night. We added 12 subscribers since yesterday afternoon. Thank you for all you new folks joining in. I hope some of you are watching this show. And those of you who are watching this show on a rerun, welcome to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see here. They're free to hand out, and we appreciate them very much. And check out my other videos that I post. I have some videos that are 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long. And if you like those, share those on Facebook to your friends. Help this channel get exposed out there in the social media world. I would very much appreciate that. Thanks again, everyone, for your support of my efforts. Fantastic. All right, let me catch up with everybody here. And then we'll do some trivia. I'm ready to go with some trivia questions here for you guys. We'll put you to work and see how you guys are going to do. We're going to have some fun with these. I think these are going to be kind of cool. I just want to catch up with the last of the comments that I last left off here, and we'll move forward. Here we go. Londell is here. Fantastic. I said hi to you. Maurice saying hi to everybody. Okay, here we go. Double check here. Sorry, folks. Sorry, I've read these comments. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, Maurice, Bruce, is the casino on the ship going to stay open since the only place we will go to is Bermuda? I know the casino and the shops have to be closed when the ship's in port. Maurice, when the ship's in international waters, they put the casino on. If they bring the ship into territorial waters like this, now they're under territorial rules. They won't set up the shops. They won't set up the casino. The reason is they have to pay local taxes, and they have to have perhaps local employees. There are all these labor rules, and there's all these maritime rules, and you do not want to get involved in the commerce of these jurisdictions. It's just an absolute nightmare. It's difficult to be on top of. So I doubt very much, Maurice, that the casinos will be open while you're in port in this case here, what is it, Bermuda? As far as I know, that's how it works. MG Toe, for the past month, there's been massive sandstorms from North Africa coming across the Atlantic, thus preventing hurricanes. That's interesting, MG. I hadn't heard that. Very interesting. Tom Henry at Maurice, did you happen to see the post of Escape leaving port this week without 2 port runners? Make sure you are not late getting back. There you go. That can happen. MG Toe, about the sandstorms in the Atlantic. However, they are causing weather to change. So massive storms are taking place in the east of the U.S. and then off the Europe coast and later back across North America. I did not know that. That's fascinating, sir. Very interesting. Tracy Dunlop saying, yes, St. Thomas is safe except for my scooter driving. My scooter driving abilities and uneven sidewalks from time to time. I guess so. Look out, she's tipping over. And the more rum and cokes you have, the tippier it can get. I hear you, Tracy. Watch out. Robert Brandt at Maurice. I think at Sail, they can operate under their flag and, yes, gamble. In port, it's regulated by local law. There you go. That's why the casinos are shut down. D&G Explorers laughing out loud. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud too. MG Toe, does the Edge have a walk-around promenade? Question mark. I don't know. I haven't seen I've seen only computer renditions, and they're not as accurate as I'd like them to be. We'll find this out shortly. Robert's laughing. Robert giving thumbs up here. Maurice at Tom Henry saying to Tom Henry, I make sure I'm on the ship, number one, and half an hour before. 1.5 hours before. I'm on the ship 1.5 hours before, but not on embarkation day. On embarkation day, I usually like to get there as early as possible. There you go. The first day, why not? If you can get on that ship at 9, 10, 11 in the morning instead of 2 or 3 in the afternoon, why not? And explore it and look around, make your reservations for dinner, and check out the spa, and check out the all the entertainment venues. Absolutely. Tom Henry, I agree with you there. Tom Henry, first on, last off is a good plan. Right on. I kind of like that plan too, if it's possible. Robert Brandt, Disney will start seeing my money with the grandkids, and they are expensive. Oh yes, Disney is like a 5.5-star cruise line. It's not a 4-star cruise line. It's really more like a 5.5-star line. That's the direction they've headed all along. It's where they want to be. They don't cater to unemployed people. It's just that simple. Grandparents and parents, they get these kids on these cruises. I just can't blame a family for doing it. I had one daughter only, as my wife refers to her as the perfect child. We had one kid. We never did Disney cruises, however, because when she was growing up, born in '88, by the time she hit 15 in '03, we hadn't started cruising yet, my wife and I. So Jennifer and I were never on a cruise during her youth. But we did take her to Disneyland, and we did take her to Disney World, and of course Universal Studios, obviously. And that's a first-class operation in its own right, in its own way. Of course, we had the luxury, absolute luxury, of living in Palm Desert, California during our daughter's junior high and high school years. And so to get her to Disneyland and California Adventure and to Universal Studios, hour and a half by car, hour and 3/4 by car, day trip, didn't have to stay in a hotel. So we were able to spoil her that way. She also went to these parks with schoolmates. One of them would have a birthday coming up, and the parents would say, okay, grab 4 or 5 of your friends. This would be one of them, my daughter's girlfriends in junior high. Grab 5 girlfriends, and mom and dad were renting 2 limos, one for mom and dad and one limo for the girls. And God help the driver who gets the girls, and these 12 and 14-year-old, whatever age girl, off to Disneyland in Los Angeles or Anaheim. And the parents would rent 2 hotel rooms. They would rent the large suite for themselves, and they would rent a relatively large room for the girls, and they have all these cots brought in, of course. And the girls would be just having a slumber party on the Friday night. They would be at Disneyland first, then the hotel, then Saturday breakfast, then all day at Disneyland. And in the evening, the fireworks show and food and everything else, having a birthday celebration. And then Sunday, have a bite to eat, and then in the limos, and bring them back exhausted back to Palm Desert. And we would get a daughter in the afternoon, on a Sunday afternoon, and she'd go right to her room, and she'd be asleep at 5 in the afternoon, and we wouldn't see her until Monday morning when it was time to go to school. And the big smile on her face because she had a blast and stayed up too long, ate too much, but had a lot of fun. But of course, at age 13, 14, you recover a lot faster than mom and dad do. And then back to school on Monday, and that's all good. So I'll tell you, the Disney World thing, the Disneyland thing's fantastic. Here on the cruise world, Robert, you can't go wrong. You're going to be able to get these kids, these grandkids, on these ships, and they're going to be looked after through all the clubs that they have on board, all the activities and the events they're going to do. And yes, you will spend quality time with the grandkids for a while, but then you're going to leave it to the pros at Disney to take it from there, and you and your missus can relax for a while, maybe in the pool area or the adult-only rest area, and let those kids get worn out. So at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, they're in the room looking at TV for a while, and they're gone in no time, and you and the missus can have yourself a nice meal and a couple nice drinks, enjoy the entertainment, and then come back to the cabin. The kids are gone, they're sleeping, and enjoy it. And tomorrow, rewind, let's do it again. Absolutely fantastic. So yes, it's expensive, But oh, you'll get value for your money. I'm pretty sure you'll be pretty happy with your value on that. All right, let's see what else is being said here. Double check here. Robert Brandt, I just say get the heck out of the way. Tom Henry, can you adopt another? Forget the age. Robert Brandt, Tom Henry, don't say adopt where my wife can hear. Don't you do it, Tom Henry. I hope MSC has a good back office to deal with all that. Tom, I bet you that they're frantically expanding it right now. They will be growing into it. But then again, Tom, they do run already the second largest container shipping company in the world, with 531 offices on the planet as it is. So for them to handle MSC cruise ships in Asia, New Zealand, Australia area, South America, North America, Alaska, I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll grow into it. They'll have years to just zoom up to it. Should be most interesting. Robert, we will have a large empty house in a year and grandbabies, not babies. Oh my goodness. Paul Wilgus, at Robert Brandt, don't adopt me. Just refer to me as your old grandchild. Laugh out loud. Everyone loves that. JC, don't laugh. When ships book at overcapacity because more people, kids per cabin, have they figured out lifeboat space for the overage? Yes, they have. They have to have, I believe, it's something along the lines of 10% more capacity than total capacity. So if the ship can go up to 106%, let's say that's 3,200 passengers, they may well have lifeboat capacity for 3,500, 3,600. Yeah, they would have a lot more. Tom Henry, great ball. Maurice, I would sail with MSC again, but try another ship from their line. There you go. Robert, at Tracy, they are supposed to have 108% in escape abilities for lifeboats. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, we can both be grandkids laughing out loud. Tom Henry, how about a ship powered by oars, rowed by the inside cabin cruisers? Well, how about powered by the folks who took too much food in the buffet? Work it off, you guys. Maurice Ingram, is the 5th Oasis class ship the last in its class? We don't know. It's possible. It's not uncommon for a cruise line to go up to 4 or 5 versions of the same ship and then shift into something else. But with the new class, the Iona class coming at 5,000 capacity, they may be happy to go with the 4 or 5 versions of those. But by 2026, they may come out in the next 3 or 4 years with an announcement that they've designed an 8,000 passenger cruise ship with 2,500 staff. That's 10,500 people. And maybe the ship is 1,250 feet long and 240 feet wide. I don't know. There's just no limit to it. Seems there's just no limit to it. But we'll find out. Right now, these are the big boys at sea. It is quite something. Paul Wilgus, Tom Henry, no, the balcony. No, the balcony people, giant oars attached to each balcony. How about that? Maybe the Haven crowd, Tom was thinking. Tracy just was wondering. Tom Henry, I can picture Adrian yelling, row, 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 with a whip, Wendy is saying. Maurice, do you think we will see Titanic 2 cruise ship? We haven't heard anything else from it. No, we're not going to. It's dead in the water, or dead and it never got in the water. There is a replica being built in China, but only as a floating hotel in a sort of a like a little reservoir area, and that'll be just a tourist type attraction. It'll never be an operating ship of any kind. I just don't think so. We are so in need of amenities to pay the money that these operators would demand from us. For $200-300 a night per person, there's no way I would be on a replica Titanic ship for that kind of cash. One night as maybe a thingy or a day tour, but to stay on there, no, I'm just not interested. And in today's highly litigious and highly regulated world in which we live, you're not going to be able to build anything like a replica Titanic ship without all the modern safety features. And if you want to incorporate the modern safety features, the ship will really have a tough time looking anything like the original Titanic. So there's this trade-off. I've always been surprised that no Las Vegas-based hotel operator has ever thought why don't we build a replica of the Titanic on the strip? We'll just have the nose of the ship come right to the sidewalk, and it'll just go way back deep, instead of taking frontage on the Sunset Strip or whatever that's called, the big strip in Las Vegas. But that's never been done because I think the numbers don't work out. Casinos in Las Vegas now have to be of a certain mega size to attract the conventions crowd, the tourism crowd. And the Titanic is too tiny. It's just too small. Even building an Oasis class knockoff ship on the strip wouldn't be big enough. It would be dwarfed by the size of the massive casinos that are there now. And so that's why probably that's not being done either. Anyway, just thoughts from here. Tom Henry, right on. Wendy, Paul Wilgus, laughing out loud. U.S. MG, the U.S. only builds warships. Yeah. Richard C, hello everyone. Hope all is well. MG Toe, the thing about building warships is that the shipbuilders know that the U.S. Navy will never have a ship built for it elsewhere, so they get to charge whatever they want. It's a beautiful make-work, overpriced game. You, the taxpayers, are probably getting hosed to an unbelievable amount of money, and yet politically, no politician has the guts to oppose the building of a new warship called the SS George Washington or something like that. I mean, come on, what are you nuts? You want to be voted out of office? So it's a closed shop, and it's a very lucrative shop. And if you notice, the shipbuilders in the United States that build warships and armaments are some of the most profitable U.S. corporations in America. And they're listed on the public stock exchanges. And take a look at, if you ever get a chance, if you can ever figure this out, why don't you take a look at the board of directors of these companies and take a look at who of those people that run these large corporations, how many have their own private jets? At your dime. It's incredible. Same in the healthcare business. Take a look at the largest healthcare providers in America, and I bet you that the chief executives of these companies, the top tier, they all get whisked around the USA and the world in Gulfstream 5 jetliners, and they don't mingle with us. No, sir. But that's just me being, what I'm being. Richard C. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. Hey, Richard. Tracy Dunlop. Remember the movie Waterworld? At least if we have that happen, we could live on a cruise ship. There you go. Paul Lucas, that's true. Tom Henry. Hello, Richard. Maurice, the movie 2012 had some cruise ships in it, but I don't know what it was called. There was a movie 2012 had some cruise ships in it, but I don't know what it was called. Tom Henry, how will the Russian name go? I don't know what that means. Wendy Thompson, Pan, Mr. Stinky, and Ed Bruce is bringing treats. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'll be there later today. Tom Henry, I assume the extra was Bruce wondering how to deal with the acrylic symbols. Okay. Tom Henry, Maurice, I love 2012, but can't remember the ship name either. I will have to watch again now. Rob Souders here. All I can say about Disney Cruise Line is more expensive, yes. But you won't be paying for pop, ice cream, and the unupgraded meals. So it's not as expensive as you think. And don't forget, it's family fun. Hey, Rob, you're dead on right. You're absolutely right. It is value for your money, but it's money. It's not this is not a welfare cruise. This is a high-end family entertainment company, and they deliver. They deliver the goods. Rarely do you hear people upset at Disney cruises. Rarely they do it right. Tom Henry, Traveling with Bruce, Facebook has gone to the dogs. Lots of nice pooch pics. Thanks, Cheryl. Maurice, how did they get yellow lifeboats on Disney? Aren't they supposed to be orange? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not commenting on the color orange. I know what you're talking about. Debbie Manuel, hi everyone. Late start, just back from Costco. 345.9 for premium gas. 100 degrees today in Chico with clouds, muggy with smoke. Yay for us! Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? Just adjust it. Here, folks, don't mind me. That's crazy, Debbie. Yep, that's warm and that's expensive gasoline. Tom Henry, where are you today at Rob Sutter? Jim Thomas is saying, Bruce, what is the fuel consumption on these huge ships compared to the smaller ships? Is that why they're building bigger, because they're getting more bang for their money? The answer simply is yes, they are. They are getting, they're able to get more people on board the ship, of course. They're getting better mileage on a per passenger basis. That's true. They're able to offer more amenities on the ships, and they're able to offer you more unique ways to spend money on board a cruise ship. And it's quite common where a cruise ship will come to port, and if it's a rainy, lousy day, 1,000 people won't get off the ship that might have gotten off the ship because there's so much to do on the ship anyway, and the cash registers are ringing up a storm on board these ships. It's just bang for the buck. Tom Henry, late pass, please, Miss Debbie. Sylvan is here. Hi, Bruce and all. Lifeboats, safety of life at sea. SOLAS requires every ship to have enough lifeboats and life rafts for 125% of the total number of individuals sailing on it. Thank you, Sylvan, for that. That is fantastic. Excellent information there. I thought it was 110%, but it's 125. Maurice, Bruce, would you ever go on the Queen Mary? They say that ship is haunted. I've been on the Queen Mary. Jennifer and I have spent, we spent, I think, one night once on the Queen Mary back in the 80s. Loved it. We got the behind the scenes tour on that one instead of the standard tour. I think we did both. I think we did a standard tour, and then we bought the behind the scenes tour, which takes about 2 hours or so. Loved it. Just loved both of the tours. Fantastic. I'd recommend it. It's a great time warp. Really is. Maurice, the one in Long Beach, exactly, in Long Beach. When we were on that ship, they still had the Spruce Goose beside her in that big dome building, which now Carnival runs as their terminal for their cruises to Mexico. And that is where the Panorama will be going to starting next year. Sylvan, according to Maritime Lore, it is extreme bad luck to mention the word, you know what? My maritime background stopped me typing it all. It is also bad luck to mention Macbeth during a play's rehearsal. How about that? There's all kinds of these, aren't there? Interesting. So that Paul Wilson, howdy everybody. Hey Paul. Jim Thomas, the USS Trump. Jim Thomas. Debbie Manuel. Shoot, Thomas. Will my replacement Costco card work for my pass today? Question mark. Maurice, I'm surprised Trump hasn't had a cruise line. Yeah, well, they're doing so well. Yeah, I'm not going there. Robert Brandt. Saying, Bruce, I've never heard anyone complain about Disney. There you go. It's just almost not. It almost doesn't happen. It really is a one-off. If something bad happens on a Disney cruise, I mean, it's not that anyone's perfect, but it's a one-off. Tom Henry, not for many years. Paul Wilson, I'm going to have to listen to the rerun. Just picked up load from Texas going to Maine. Fantastic, Paul. Money. That's why you're driving, buddy. Way to go, pal. Keep her between the lines. Robert Brandt, it's not orange, it's polished. Third. Tom Henry, how about some thumbs ups? Is what he's asking about. Richard C. Thumbs ups. How many do we have? I'm showing 13 thumbs ups right now, everybody. I appreciate that. I got 26 of you here watching and talking and commenting and hopefully more. Let's play some trivia. How about that? I'm ready to go. We'll see how you guys are going to do here today. I'll see what we can start up with here. How about this first one? I love this first one. I read this one and I thought this should be fun. Tell me if you can. These are cities in the United States, and can you tell me the cities in the United States that happen to have the highest number of people, percentage of residents living in these cities that do not own a car? What cities in the US are the cities where the residents don't own a car, the highest percentage of citizens that don't own a car? Fire away and let me know what you did here. Debbie says, did it? Thumbs up is always first thing I do. She said, Rob Sutter, Tom Henry, I'm at home, Ridgeway, Ontario, up at 5 a.m. tomorrow to go to Brooklyn. Disney was able to change the color of the life rafts because they only have to be visible for a certain distance. That's why. Isn't that something? Tim Thomas saying, hey, Deb. Tom Henry, NYV, I'm going to say that's New York City instead of New York City. Robert Brandt, New York City as well. That is the number one city. New York City, 55.7% of the residents of New York City do not own a car. That is a number really interesting. Number one in the United States. Paul Wilgus is thinking about San Francisco. San Francisco is on the list at number 14 at 28.5% compared to New York's 55.7%. So in Frisco, they more than almost three-quarters of the folks do own a car, but it's still 14th highest in the U.S. I have about 25 answers here that I'm looking for. Tom Henry had New York, so did Debbie, so did Rob. Tom Henry had Philadelphia. What about the city of brotherly love? 35.7% of Philadelphians don't own a car. That is the seventh most in the United States. Philadelphia, San Antonio, West Morrison, Texas, San Antonio does not make that list. Debbie Manuel, Washington, D.C., the Swamp, number 4 on the list, 36.9% of Washingtonians of DCers don't have a car. Sylvan Forest, what about Chicago, Bruce? Chicago is a city here, let me see, 13th place. 28.8% of Chicagoans don't have a car. Key West didn't make the list, Robert. I'm looking for cities of 100,000 or more. Key West, probably too small. Sylvan Forest, Anchorage is a good guess, but no, Anchorage did not make the list either. It's a good thought, though. Richard C., is it all the large metro areas? It's generally large cities, 100,000 or more. Wendy Thompson, Chicago Town, we got it. Paul Wilson, what about Los Angeles? How about in LA, the home of highways, freeways? No, LA is not one of those cities that has non-car owning people. Very favorable to cars. Silo Steve, hey Bruce, was watching on my Xbox, but cannot comment from there. Just saying howdy. Hey there, pal. Welcome back to the show. Glad you're here. Jim Thomas, San Francisco, we just did. There we go. Who else we got here? New York City from Pamplemousse, we did. New Orleans, Wendy Thompson is wondering about the city of New Orleans. I'm taking a quick peek here for the answers. New Orleans. Yeah, number 16. New Orleans, 27.3% of New Orleanians don't have a car. 16th place. Jim had New York. Paul had New Orleans. Tom had Chicago. Wendy has St. Louis, Missouri. Let's take a look and see if St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, 22nd, 25.1% of St. Louisers do not have a car. 3/4 do, 1/4 do not. Brooklyn doesn't count. It's part of New York. Robert Brandt, Boston, Massachusetts. Number 8, 34.9% of Bostonians don't have a car. Honolulu doesn't rank on the test. Detroit, Michigan, home of the automobile. You know what? Detroit's not on this list. For some reason, the city that's known as the home of the automobile, most people own a car in Detroit. Go figure. But, that would be a quirky answer, wouldn't it? Sylvan Forest is thinking about Seattle. Seattle, Washington. Does it rank in the top? No, Seattle does not rank in the top 25. They love cars. Wendy Thompson, Memphis, Tennessee. Nope, Memphis, they love their cars in Memphis. Sylvan Forest, before someone says it, Tokyo. That's right. Sorry, I'm sure in Tokyo a lot of folks don't own a car, but we're not in Japan. Robert Brandt had DC. Tom Henry, Zanesville. Robert Brandt, the Vatican. Sylvan Forest for the Steamy Bean, the Vatican. Tom Henry, and Bakersfield for the Lucas family. That's right. For the Lucases, we got to say Bakersfield. None of these are on our list. Sylvan, just for the heck of it, Lower Slobovialopolis. Thank you. Debbie Emanuel. What about Atlanta, Georgia, Bruce? Does Atlanta, Georgia rank as a city that where folks don't own a car? 25th on the list, the last one on the list at 23.5%. Atlantans, 23.5% don't own a car. Paul Wilson, they must not be counting all the homeless in LA. You don't count homeless, I guess. Debbie, Boston, we did it. Rob Souter, Mars. Wendy Thompson, Miami. The city of Miami, 18th on the list, 26.1% of the residents of Miami do not own a car. Very high number. Tampa, Wendy Thompson's wondering about Tampa in Florida. Nope, Tampa did not make the list here, but Miami did. Yay, Debbie, Jim Thomas is saying. Way to go, Deb. I'm looking for a city very close to New York City. I'm looking for another city in the state of New Jersey. Looking for a city in Connecticut. I'm looking for a city in Maryland. I need another city in New York State. I need another city in Connecticut. There's two. I need a city in Pennsylvania. And I need a city in New York State, another one in New York State, and another one in Ohio. So there's a whole bunch of cities I need here. I've got a bunch for you. Camden, New Jersey. No. Hartford, Connecticut. Yes, Hartford is 5th at 36%. No car ownership in Hartford. How about that? Camden, no. Newark, yes. Newark, New Jersey, the #2 city in America. 44.1% of folks in Newark do not own a car. We have Hartford here. We have Wendy going AC. That doesn't help me. Paul Lucas, Baltimore. Yes, Baltimore, Maryland, 35.8%. That would make the 6th city, the largest city, 6th in the ranking. No car ownership. Hartford, we have Jersey City. Thank you very much. That's the #3 city. Jersey City, 40.6%. They don't own a car. Debbie Manuel, Manhattan, that's part of New York. Jim Thomas, Buffalo, New York. Yep, #9 city, 31.2%. It's a New York thing. They don't own a car. Cleveland, Cool Jazz, thinking Cleveland, Ohio, the 23rd city overall, 24.5%, no car ownership. Cincinnati, WKRP, Tom Henry is wondering about Cincinnati. Nope, Cincinnati is not on the list. They own more than 75% cars. Gary, Indiana, no. Rob Souter, NE, doesn't help me. Cool Jazz, no wonder they keep hijacking cars in Newark. Paul Lucas is laughing out loud. I'm looking now for the next city I need is a Connecticut city. I need a Pennsylvania city. I need a New Jersey city still. Need another New York and another New York City. Those are the ones I need. I have New York City, Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Hartford, Connecticut, Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boston, Buffalo. I have already. I've got Chicago, San Francisco, New Orleans, Miami, St. Louis, Atlanta, and Cleveland. Got them all. Just need now a bunch of New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania cities, and we're done if anyone wants to give them a try. Let's see what we've got coming in. We have Pittsburgh from Tom Henry. Thank you, sir. That's one of them right there. #11 city, Pittsburgh, 29.4% in Pittsburgh do not own a car. New Haven, yes, New Haven, Connecticut, 10th on the list, 29.7%. Jim Thomas, funny, Hartford has less cars and insures a lot of cars. Yeah, they do. They do. Sylvan Forest, Coeur d'Alene, no, sir. Robert Brandt, Greenwich, no. Wendy Thompson, Atlantic City, no. Paul Wilson, Indianapolis, nope. I need a New Jersey city, a New York State city twice. That's all I've got left. I need 2 more New York State cities that are sort of in that 200,000-300,000 range. And I need a city in New Jersey, and we are done. Atlantic City, Indianapolis, no go. Yes, those are the 3, and I'll give them up in a minute if we have no more guesses coming in. Trenton, Buffalo, no, Trenton not, Buffalo already. Let's see any more coming in here. Albany, nice guess, but not on the list. Looking for 2 New York cities that are not Albany. Long Island City, no. Harlem, no, sir, no, neither. One city is named after a character from the Jack Benny radio show and the Jack Benny television series. He had a character on that. I think it was his personal servant. What was his name? He's named, that's the city. Rochester, here it is. Thank you. Rochester, New York, the 20th city without cars, 25.3%. I need another city in New York State and a city in New Jersey, and we are done. And I'm trying to think of hints to give you, but I'm really having a tough time coming up with hints. Let me finish this off for you. In New Jersey, it's Paterson, New Jersey. Paterson, New Jersey, 29.3%, no cars, 12th overall. In New York State, Syracuse. Syracuse, New York, 19th overall, 26.5%, no cars. That finished off our first quiz. All right. Let me throw a Hollywood one at you. And then I got one more after that. The Hollywood one today is, there's Rob Souter, Syracuse. Tell me Meg Ryan movies. All the movies Meg Ryan has been in. She started in 1981. She stopped in 2008. Tell me the titles of Meg Ryan movies. and she did a bunch of them. Some of the movies that she's made are icons of some of the most favorite movies made and watched to this day by Americans around the world. Robert Brandt, When Harry Met Sally. Yes, she was in that one, 1989. 29 years ago, she made that movie. Oh my gosh. Sylvan Oy, Hollywood, I'm in Dead in the Water. Paul Wilson, Queens, New York. Robert Brandt, Joe versus the Volcano. Yeah, she was with Tom Hanks in Joe versus Volcano. That was the next year, right after When Harry Met Sally. Wendy Thompson, Seattle. Jim Thomas, Courage Under Fire. Courage Under Fire. Yes, 1996. She made that movie. Sleepless in Seattle. Wendy, you got everyone on the right track. Tom Henry has it. Debbie Manuel has it. Robert Brandt. Sleepless in Seattle. She shot that movie with Tom Hanks. 1993. 25 years ago. Oh my gosh, are we getting old? Jim Thomas, Inner Space. 1989, she met her husband-to-be. Who was that? Does anyone know who she was married to? Her co-star in Inner Space. Who did she marry? Paul Wilson, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Thank you, Paul. Robert Brandt, You've Got Mail. That's right. Tom Henry, same thing. You've Got Mail. 1998, 20 years ago, You've Got Mail. Do you remember the AOL chat page where you used to hook up by telephone? That's 20 years ago, folks. Cutting edge movie for its time. Paul Wilson, was she in Top Gun? Yes, she was. She was in Top Gun in 1986. That movie put her on the movie map for sure. She got busy after that movie. Debbie has You've Got Mail. Cool Jazz, AOL. That's right. Tom Henry, City of Angels is the guess. City of Angels. 1998, 20 years ago, she did that movie. Addicted to Love. Robert Brandt is saying the movie called Addicted to Love, 1997, 21 years ago. Debbie Manuel, Women. The movie called Women. Yes, 2008, her last movie. Tom Henry, You Drive? Rob is asking. Courage Under Fire from Debbie Manuel. Courage Under Fire. And that movie... Pardon me. We've already done it, 1996. Sorry, we already have it. When a Man Loves a Woman, Tom Henry. When a Man Loves a Woman. That was 1994. Exactly right. Thank you. Jim Thomas, Martin Short. He was in that movie, but it wasn't him that she married. Debbie Manuel played in the Doors movie. Don't think that's going to be on this list as a starring role. Tom Henry used to be a chauffeur, now just the accountant for the company. Okay. Tom Henry's talking about he used to drive. Robert Brandt, Proof of Life. Proof of Life. Looking here, Proof of Life. Can't find it. Not showing anything about this movie at all. Pardon me. So here we got Inner Space, Tom Henry. Cool Jazz. Tom Henry, not allowed to drive. He's addicted to 1862. Debbie Manuel, she says to love Meg Ryan. Rob Souter, 10-4. Paul Wilson, sorry, a little behind. I'm just leaving, or whatever he's saying. Sorry, Paul. Paul Wilson, LOL, cool. Tom Henry, The Presidio. That's correct. She was in a movie called The Presidio in 1988. Tom Henry laughing out loud. Let's see if I can give you guys any other hints. A bunch of them here. Let's see. She was in Proof of Life. Paul Wilkes is saying she was in a movie called Proof of Life, and I think this quiz here might be her. Here we go. Sorry, 2000. I apologize. I found it. Thank you, everybody. I found it. Paul Wilson, Safer While Driving. There's another title. Safer While Driving. Is that the name of a movie, or are you trying to tell us something? Safer While Driving. I don't have it here. Where are we? Jim Thomas. I thought I said Dennis Quaid. It is Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was her husband to be. Became her husband. I don't know if they met on the movie Inner Space or had already met. I don't know, but they were married for a time and no longer. All right, other movies that she made. Blank to a Kiss. Anybody know the movie there? How about Blank and Dangerous? How about Blank Kiss? Let's see here. Kate and Blank. Anybody know that one? In the Blank. Against the Blank. In the land of, what's that one called? Here we go. Here come the guesses coming in here. Guesses coming in, I thought, like crazy. Promised Land or Promised Land? Yep, 1987, Promised Land. French Kiss, 1995. Thank you. Prelude to a Kiss is another one, 1992. Thank you. Cool Jazz, In the Cut. The movie called In the Cut. Yes, 2003. Prelude to a Kiss. French. Debbie Manuel is saying movie called French. I don't think there's one just called French. French Kiss, of course. Oh, Debbie, you're just giving me the first word. When a man loves a woman, when a man, we already have that one. There's another one here I'm looking for. We have here one called Leopold. Paul Wilgus is Leopold. Kate and Leopold. Very good. Cool Jazz has it right there. So did Robert Grant. Prelude to a Kiss, we've got. Let's see. In the land of blank. Let's see here. Other movies. Rich and Blank. Flesh and Blank. Hurley Blank. Got a few here coming for you guys. What do we have here? Addicted to Love. Addicted to Love. And I'm looking. Have we already done Addicted to Love? Or yeah, we already done 1997. Thank you very much. Probably to Chris. We have it. Rich and Famous. Yeah, that's correct. 1981. Her first movie. Rich and Famous. 1981. 1983. Blank 3D. Her second movie. What would that one be called? Proof of Life is another guest coming in here. Proof of Life. I think we've already done Proof of Life, haven't we? Yep, Proof of Life 2000. We have done it. Looking for the last few. Blank 3D. Anybody know what that one was called? Blank and Dangerous. Anybody know? Flesh and Blank. Mom's New Boyfriend is what Cool Jazz is saying. Mom's New Boyfriend. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's a movie. In the Land of Blank. Against the Blank. Let's see what we have here. Any more coming? Any more coming? If not, I'll give them up. I'm looking here for Amityville 3D. In 1983, Amityville 3D was the movie. Armed and Dangerous, 1986. For some reason, I think that's starring John Candy. I could be wrong. A movie in 1988 called DOA. A movie in 1992 called The Door. 1993, Flesh and Bone. Here we are, Armed and Dangerous came in here. Cool Jazz. That was 2008. Mom's movie, Mom's Boyfriend. Don't have it. 1994, IQ was another movie. 1995, Restoration was another one of her movies. Anastasia in 1997. Hurly Burly in 1998. Hanging Up in 2000. Against the Ropes in 2004. In the Land of Women in 2007. And in 2008, one movie called The Deal. That was the movie I have there. That finished Meg Ryan's movies in her career at this point in time. All right, I got one left. And this one is a doozy. Let's see how much fun you have. This one is a walk down memory lane for you guys, for all of us. You guys are going to hear these answers. You're going to go, oh, I knew that. I knew that. We're getting ready. Excuse me. Paul Wilson, I was trying to say I'm behind. I will just listen safer while I'm driving. Right on. I hear you, buddy. All right. Tell me, here we go. The last quiz of the day. Let's see how you guys do in this one. Robert Brandt, I knew that. Here we go. Tell me the name of every Chevrolet model car ever made. Chevrolet anything ever made from 1946 to the present day. Tell me the names of every Chevrolet model. How about that? Fire away, you guys, and I'll see if I can keep up with you. This should be fun. There's just been a whole bunch of Chevrolets made over the years. Paul Wilgus is thinking about the Chevy Nova, 1962 until 1988, the Chevy Nova. The Corvette, yes, from 1953 to the present day, 2018, the Corvette. Camaro, Robert Brandt is thinking about the Camaro. The Camaro came out 1967 and is still produced today. The Capri, Paul Wilgus, thinking about the Capri. The Capri came out in 65. They still make the Capri today. Debbie had a Camaro. Tom Henry, the Volt. Yes, the Volt came out in 2011. They're still making it, apparently. Not very many, but they're still making it. Cool Jazz, think about the F-150. That's a Ford. The Ford F-150, sorry. Coupe, Paul Wilson Coupe. That's not going to help us. Let's see here. Coupe, Chevette. Paul Wilgus, think about the Chevette. The Chevette was produced in, one moment here, Chevette, 1976 until 1987. It lasted about 9-10 years. The Chevette. The Caballero. Tom Henry is thinking about that. The Caballero. Is there anything ever called the Caballero? And I'm looking for anything that's similar to it or close to it. I can't find anything called the Caballero, but we'll keep working on this list. Cool Jazz, the Impala. What about the Chevy Impala? Yeah, the Chevy Impala, 1958 until today. They're still producing the Chevy Impala. What a popular name, Braid. Robert Brandt, I'm not a Chevy buyer. Tom Henry, the Malibu. Yes, the Malibu came out as a Chevelle Malibu originally from 64 until 2018. The Malibu is still produced to this very day, and mechanics refer to the Malibus as Malibubus. Great for mechanics, Malibubus. Once they hit 8 to 10 years old, cash register machines, if you want to keep a Malibu going. Oh, I had one, and oh, it was a cash machine for a while for the mechanic. Anyway, the Monte Carlo, Robert Brandt. What about the Monte Carlo? Came out in 1970, produced until 2007. The Monte Carlo. They don't make them anymore. Scottsdale Truck. Paul Lucas is wondering what the Scottsdale Truck. I don't have anything with that name on it. Sorry. Debbie Manuel, the Wilverado. Debbie, you're talking about the Silverado. The Silverado has been produced. Let me take a look at the Silverado, not the Wilverado, the Silverado. Let me just triple, quadruple, whatever check, just to see if there's something here. Am I thinking what somebody else? It is not a Chevy product. Silverado, I think is Chevy. No, not Chevy. Silverado, GMC, I believe. Let's see here. Debbie Manuel. Oops, Silverado. Yeah, and it's a Chevy. It's a GMC product. Jim Thomas, the Equinox. The Equinox came out in the 2005 and is still being produced to this very day. The Suburban. The Suburban was produced. Let me find it. Where is the Suburban? The Suburban 2000 until the present day, 2018. The Tahoe, Debbie Emanuel. What about the Tahoe, Bruce? Yes, the Tahoe from 1995 to the present day. The Avalanche, Jim Thomas. What about the Avalanche? The Avalanche. Let's take a look here. The Avalanche. Avalanche, was that a Chevy? Was that a Chevy or was that somebody else? Was that a Buick maybe or an Oldsmobile? The Avalanche, I'm not finding the Avalanche. I'm looking like crazy. Nope, I'm not finding the Avalanche. Sorry. Tom, thinking about Liquor Malibu. Tom, Robert Brandt, the Denali. The Denali. The Denali. Looking here. The Denali. I'm not finding a Denali. I'm sorry. I'm not finding it. Is that a GMC product? Maybe. Harriet is here saying, hey, Tracy Dunlop never owned a Chevy. Jim Thomas, Malibu, we got it. Bolt. Tom Henry, the Bolt. Yes, the Bolt came out in 17 and still making it in 18. Chevy SS. Debbie Manuel, the Chevy SS. Think that's the only name it had. The SS. That's correct. The SS was produced from 14 to 18. Correct. Still making it. MG Tow, the Corvair. Yeah, the Chevy Corvair. The disaster from 1960 to 69. 9 years they made that piece of crap. Everyone has a great day. Remember, thumbs up. Thank Robert Brandt. Thank you so much. MG Tow, my first car, a Biscayne. The Biscayne from 58 to 72. My dad had a Chevy Biscayne, a 64. Unbelievable. Paul Wilgus, you too, Robert. A Traverse, Tom Henry, the Traverse. Yes, from 2009 until 2018, the Chevy Traverse. Tom Henry saying bye, Robert. C-Series 100, Jim Thomas is thinking about the C-Series 100. I don't have it here as a Chevy product. Bel Air. The Bel Air came out in 53, lasted until 76, the Chevy Bel Air. Between the Biscayne was the Bel Air and then the Impala. That's how they went with those big cars. The Silverado is Chevy. I have one. Silverado, again, I apologize for any of you folks. I'm trying to find, where am I? For whatever reason, I cannot find it. Silverado, either I can't write, I can't read, I can't copy, or they're messing with me. Pample Rose Monte Carlo. We've already done the Monte Carlo. I need more brands, Chevy brands. What other Chevys can you talk to me about? Talk to me about the four-door cars, the cars from the 80s that don't exist anymore, the disasters in the 90s. What cars are out there as good old Chevys? Does anyone know the 1946, the 1948 model names, the 1950 model names? There were a couple of doozies. I'm kind of curious if anyone knows. I think the C100 is a GMC product. Cool Jazz, the Rambler. That's not a Chevy. That was American Motors. The Rambler, I believe the Rambler was American Motors. Or it was unto itself, but it was not Chevy. Did we say Vega? We did not say the Chevy Vega. The Chevy Vega. Oh my gosh. 1971 to 1977 with the aluminum block engine. 6 years later, that car was gone. It was gone. It was a disaster. Tom Henry, that was a loser. It was a huge loser for a Chevy. 6 years they bled money on that car, finally getting rid of it. Absolutely right. If you remember Forrest Gump sitting on the park bench, the bus that would drive by, there would be an advertisement on the bus for the brand new Chevy automobile, 1980. What was it? Does anyone know? I'm kind of curious about that. Chevy came up with front-wheel drive cars in the 80s, and a bunch of them didn't last very long. What were the initial model names of the first front-wheel drives? Tom Henry, Vega and Pinto, which do we buy? Oh my gosh, losers all across the board. How about that? Let's see if I can help any of you guys. Does anyone know a place in California known as Marina blank blank? You know what that is? That place in California, Marina, boom, boom. Tell me what that is. That's the name of a model car. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, this was probably the first version of an SUV that came out in the 60s and 70s. They came out with the first version of SUVs. Did we say Chevelle? We did. Tom Henry, Del Rey, Marina Del Rey. Yeah, the Del Rey was a model from 1958. That's it. 1958 only, the Del Rey. Paul Wilgus, I can see many, but I can't remember the names. Debbie Manuel, the Malibu Boo, the Malibu Boo. Yeah, the Malibu. It's gone. What? They're making cars today. You guys aren't coming up with it. Here's one. Here's a couple. Cool Jazz, the Nomad. Yeah. The Nomad was produced from 1955 to 1961. And then right after that, Pample is coming in here. Pample Moose with the Citation. The Chevy Citation, the first of the J cars. The Citation was advertised on Forrest Gump on the side of a bus. The brand new Chevy Citation from 1976 to 1987. They went 10, 11 years with the Citation, and then they finally gave up on that one. Paul Wilson, the Blazer, the Chevy Blazer. Yes, sir, from 1969 to 2005. The Chevy Blazer was the first SUV that really was produced by Chevrolet. Debbie Manuel says, I think I'm done here. Tom Henry, what was the two-door car called? That's right. There's that two-door car. Cool Jazz. The Style Line. Yes, the Style Line, 1949 to 1952. How would you like to have a car called the Style Line? How about that? Ooh, fancy dancy, baby. Fancy dancy. Let's see. The two-door cars. They made these two-door cars so popular. Sold a zillion of them. Here's Pample Moose looking at celebrity again. We got it, Celebrity. There was another one that they brought it out from 82 until 2005. Then in 2005, they changed the name and they produced it until 2010. And then they changed the name in 2011. It's being produced today. It's the same car, 3 versions, 3 names. What am I talking about? It's a 2-door car. They may have produced tiny 4 doors, but I don't think so. I think these are all 2-door cars as far as I can tell. I know they also did hatchbacks in this version. What am I talking about? Which car is it? Cool Jazz, the Suburban. The Suburban. Let me take a look at the Suburban here. Have we already done the Suburban? I love that name. 2000 to 2018, still making the Suburban today. Tom Henry, the 2-door I'm thinking of is like a pickup in the back. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Now, those are classics. People collect those, but I'm not sure if that's a GMC product. I'm not sure. You'll have to check it out. Tell me, Cool Jazz, the Cruze, the Chevy Cruze. Yes, the Chevy Cruze is the modern equivalent of the car I was just talking about. From 2011 to 2018, the Chevy Cruze is being built. What was that car called before it was the Cruze? It was produced from 2005 until 2010 under one name. And then prior to that, it was produced from 82 to 05 on another name. What is the precursor of the Cruze? Pample has a Suburban. Jim Thomas, Debbie, type it. I can't spell it. Pamplemousse, Capri. We have a Debbie Manuel. You spelled it correctly, Cheyenne. You got it. The Cheyenne, Chevy Cheyenne. I don't think there's a Cheyenne ever produced. Not that I know of. No Cheyenne. No. And I am not finding this car you're thinking about with the pickup truck at the back end. I'm not seeing it here on a nameplate. I don't think Chevy made one. I think it was made by GM, but I think it was made under a different brand name. But I can't remember what it is right now. I'm having trouble finding it myself. Pamplemousse, El Camino. There you go. The El Camino. Thank you. I don't think the El Camino was a Chevy product. Was it a Buick, an Oldsmobile? Was it a Pontiac? Was it, I'm not sure. But El Camino does not show on this Chevy quiz at all. But that's the 2-door car we are talking about. That looks like a pickup truck at the back end, car in the front. Fantastic. Let's see here. Oh, man, these are all one-word answers. So I don't know how I can give you hints on this stuff. These are some classic names, but I'll start coughing them up to you shortly if you guys can't get anywhere. Trailblazer. What about the Trailblazer? Trailblazer 2002 until 2009. That's Chevy Trailblazer. Tom Henry, the Spark 2013 until 2018. MG Toast Chevette. We have it. Cool Jazz. El Camino was in 1959. The El Camion. MG Toast Stingray. A Corvette. Corvette Stingray. Same thing. I don't have these other brand names. What do we got here? Geo Metro. The Geo Metro. The Metro is definitely one of them. 1998 till 2001. 3 years, and it was gone. That was a 2-door car too. Cool Jazz is saying, Tom Henry, what was the name of the strange minivan with the long tilted windshield? Anybody know? Paul Wilgus, the Corsica? Was there a Chevy Corsica? Yes, 1988 until 1996. The Corsica was alive for 8 years and then gone. Metro, a 3-cylinder car. That's why they last. 3-cylinder piece of crap. Yes, sirree. Oh, my goodness. Yes, long gone. The Lumina, very well done, Paul. The Lumina, the Chevy Lumina from 1990 to 2001. The Chevy Lumina. The big selling point about the Chevy Lumina, apparently it had a rear suspension similar to a Corvette. The problem with the Chevy Lumina was the front part of the car had nothing to do with a Corvette. It had a gutless 4 or 6-cylinder engine and was a piece of crap. It lasted 10 years. Pamplemousse, the El Camino was a Chevrolet. My friend had one. There you go. I thank you, Pamplemousse. And I apologize if I don't have the name here for you. I just don't have El Camino in this series, but I'll give you that as an answer. Well done indeed. I'm going to give you some of the early ones now. And as we move closer, 1946 to 1948, they had a car called the Style Master. Wouldn't you love to have been in a Chevy called the Style Master? Woo-wee. How about 1946 to 1951, the Fleet Line? You could have been in the Fleet Line. Or in 46 to 48, the Fleet Master. Oh, man, you would have been the king of your block driving a Fleet Master. Oh, my gosh. Jim Thomas, yes, Maine, what is it, Cheyenne? Because I own one. It's a truck. Tom Henry, Tracker, rollover, small SUV, Geo Tracker. The Tracker, there's the Trax from 2013 to 18. Let me take the Tracker from 1998 to 2004. Those were definitely a couple of versions of the Tracker, nicknamed the Crapper. Not very good. Jim Thomas, same as Silverado trucks, are Chevy trucks, not GMC. Other early models, the Series 150, and that could be confused with the F-150 from 1953 to 57. From 53 to 57, the Series 210. 1958 to 1972, the Brookwood apparently existed. Probably a very rare machine, very rare car. 1975 to 1980, the Monza. You remember the Chevy Monza? Garbage car from 1975 to 1980. 5 years. They couldn't stop production fast enough for the Chevy Monza. Paul Wilkes, I think the Venture was a Chevy. The Venture from 1997 to 2005. Yes, that lasted 18 years. I think that wasn't the Venture a van? I'm not exactly sure. Very well done. All right, next model that is ancient. We have the Celebrity from 82 to 90. The Chevy Astro, the Astro van from 85 to 2005. The Chevy Spectrum from 85 to 88. The Chevy Sprint from 85 to 88. The Beretta. Do you remember the Beretta? The sporty two-door type car? 88 to 96, the Chevy Beretta. Jim Thomas is thinking about the Metro. We've already done it. 3 years it lasted. Paul Wilkes, Love was a small pickup truck. Chevy. I don't know. How about the Chevy Cavalier? You remember the Chevy Cavalier from 1982 until 2005? The Chevy Cavalier was one of the biggest selling cars they had. They discontinued the line and brought out another car to replace that nameplate. What was it? After that, it became the Cruze. Do you remember? The next one to come up here is the Chevy Prism. P-R-I-Z-M from 98 to 2002. The next one was the Chevy Express. I have no idea what the Chevy Express is. Is that like a panel van? 03 to 18. The Chevy Aveo, A-V-E-O, the Aveo from 2004 to 2011. I think it was a boring four-door passenger car. Let's see here. Debbie Manuel Astro. How could I have forgotten that, Jeff? 2004 to 2006, the SSR. Then in 05 to 2010, the Chevy Cobalt. That replaced the Cavalier. They went from the Cavalier to the Cobalt to the Cruze. That's the three names. The Uplander from 05 to 08. The HHR from 06 to 2011. The Sonic from 2012 to 18. The Captiva from 13 to 14. And I think that's the end of the names for the Chevys, if I got it right. The Express was a work van. Tom Henry was, what is the current name of the Chevy van? Cool Jazz. Express was a bigger version of the local LOL. The van now? Good question. I have no idea. I don't know what they call the van now. Do they even make the van anymore? I really don't know. Those were the Chevys. Remember these classic names. The Biscayne, the Impala, the Corvair, the Nova, the Chevelle Malibu, the Capri, the Camaro, the Blazer, the Monte Carlo, the Cervin-Vega, the Monza, the Chevette, the Citation, the Cavalier, the Celebrity, the Astro, the Spectrum, the Sprint, the Beretta. They sold a lot of Berettas for a while, and then it died off very quickly, 8 years. The Corsica, the Lumina, the Tahoe still, Venture, the Metro, Prism, Tracker, Suburban, Trailblazer, the Aveo, the Cobalt, the Equinox. I love these old brand names and all the millions of dollars they spent to promote those cars to us, to have those jingles written and all those aerial shots and the actors and actresses to act in the car. Oh my gosh, Paul Lucas. When you named them, I went, I knew that. Cool Jazz. Go to Cuba, you might see them there. Tom Henry, we just rented 25 of the vans. Could be MG tough. Could be MG though. Could well be MG. There you go. There's our trivia questions for the day. We are done. And thank you for participating. How are we doing with the thumbs ups now? We're sitting here at 19 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for throwing those in there for me. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm off tomorrow, being Sunday. I'm going to try to load a video on the channel if I can, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll give it a try. And then Monday, I'm back on live at 5 o'clock Eastern. I'll be on as usual. I should be on Tuesday as well. Hopefully Wednesday, I should be on Wednesday, but I'll let you know otherwise. But I look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, thank you for all your support, all your comments, your thumbs ups, donations to the channel. Thank you again, Robert Brandt, today. Thank you so much. Tom Henry, best jingle was Volare or Volare. Volare, that was a Plymouth, I think. Plymouth Volare. Paul Willigas, I remember that jingle, Tom. Debbie Manuel Thomas, now we'll be singing that little jingle for the rest of the day. Thanks a lot. Pample Moose, tour the USA in your Chevrolet. Tour the USA in your Chevrolet. Who was the actress that sang? Was it Dor? Was it? No, it wasn't Doris Day. Was it? Oh my gosh, who am I thinking about here? Who was the gal who was the Chevrolet gal in the 50s? Tour the USA in your Chevrolet. Not Doris Day. No. Bruce, who is it? Who was it? She's from Palm Desert. She was from Rancho Mirage. Her golf tournament was named after her. Do you think it'll come to me? I always mix up these two actresses. She had her own television talk show, and she was romantically involved with Burt Reynolds. Who am I talking about? Anybody know? Oh my goodness, I'm losing it. A great short-term memory, I have to say though. Anyway, we'll get to that eventually. Thank you all for joining this old man on Saturday, August the 18th, going down memory lane on these old Chevrolets. Dinosaur. Just heard a voice in the background shouting, Dinosaur. That's who it was. Thank you, Debbie Emanuel. There it is there. It was not Debbie Reynolds, Cool Jazz. It was not Debbie Reynolds. Dinosaur sang Tour the USA in your Chevrolet. Remember that? She had television specials with the 57 Chevrolets on the stage. Unbelievable. They don't sell cars like that anymore. Pamplemousse, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Very well done, Pamplemousse. Tom Henry, bye everyone. Great program again. MG Toe Dinosaur was a child molester, cougar. That's what she's saying. It's what he's saying. ONG. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern. This is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying thanks for stopping by. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye now.